Oh hey, I didn't see you there. I was just picking out a book to read. Let's see what we got here. So we got Spanish vocabulary. I personally haven't finished this one. Please don't spoil it for me. Next we got Bass Pro Shops, the Strike Tournament Edition instruction booklet. I love this one. This one is a classic. If you ever see this in the wild, I recommend picking it up. And finally, we got the Bible. This one's a bit of a hidden gem. It's kind of like Catcher in the Rye and Harry Potter, so you probably haven't heard of it. I feel like people can learn a lot from the stories in this book. For example, I found a verse that stuck out to me today. Matthew 7:15. Beware of false prophets who come disguised as harmless sheep but are really vicious wolves. What is a false prophet? That's a terrible question, but I'll tell you anyway. According to Wikipedia, a false prophet is a person who falsely claims the gift of prophecy or divine inspiration, or to speak for God, or who makes such claims for evil ends. Sadly, I feel like we see this a lot today, in the form of the prosperity gospel. Preachers of the prosperity gospel teach that God will only give you good things if you send money to someone who promotes these false teachings. Some examples of people who teach the prosperity gospel are Joel Osteen and Kenneth Copeland. They try to convince people that if you're a Christian, you'll be rich and never get sick. Normally, the money sent to these people just ends up going to private jets and whatever other things these people feel like spending the money on. Money that was sent by people who desperately need help and are genuinely convinced that the money they sent will help them be blessed by God. These so-called leaders will also do some pretty shady things to convince people that the prosperity gospel is true, like sitting the healthier people in front of the church so to the TV audience it looks like the people that support them have been blessed by God, or like claiming that they need to use the donated money to buy private jets because they need them to get closer to God and avoid the demons that fill up the regular planes. The problem? People believe what they're saying. There are people who've sent their life savings to the prosperity gospel preachers thinking that they would get the help they need. Another thing some of these teachers do is let people send their prayer requests. As you probably expected, nobody ever gets prayed for. A former employee of Kenneth Copeland has even said that none of the requests are even read. They just send back an auto-written letter to make it seem like they were prayed for. I hope by watching this you're able to learn why you shouldn't support these people. If it happens you were supporting these teachers, you probably want to know where to go next. Well, one thing I recommend is to actually read the Bible for yourself. Lucky for you, it's really easy to access. There are plenty of Bible apps and you can pretty much look up any verse online. If you want a physical Bible, they sell them at pretty much every store that sells books. Or you could just borrow one of mine. I got lots of them here. Or if you struggle to understand what the Bible is saying, there are plenty of videos online that can explain it way better than I could. Anyway, thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Merry Christmas.